DMC is back!
It's been 10 years since the release of DMC 4. It's been 10 years that fans of the series have been waiting for a true sequel. And with DMC 5 on the horizon, a lot of people's hopes and dreams ride with it. People are questioning, wondering if DMC 5 will truly live up to the monumentous hype that it has built. Well, I'm glad to confirm that it certainly has. Right from the get-go, Devil May Cry 5 thrusts you straight into the action. The end of the world has come about yet again, and it is up to 3 lone devil hunters to save it from its impending doom. Fans of the series will recognize both Dante and Nero, who make a return in this game, yet the third playable character is the mysterious and enigmatic V, a character whose gameplay style varies wildly from the other two. In fact, variety is the name of the game when it comes to Devil May Cry 5. The combat is so open-ended, you can approach each and every enemy encounter in whatever way you could possibly think of. This goes for both series veterans and newcomers alike. DMC 5 has you going from mission to mission, clearing enemies and completing objectives. In between, you're able to upgrade your character's repertoire, meaning that their gameplay will never ever get stale and you'll always have some new move or power to play with. To make sure that the action runs smoothly and stylishly, the game runs at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second on console. This is of course due to Capcom's RE engine, which is as versatile as it is pretty. And of course, anybody with eyes can see that this game has no right to look this astonishingly good, especially considering that it does run at the aforementioned 60 frames per second and can get quite hectic at times. And of course, we can't forget the sound design. The game boasts a plethora of tracks that seem to ease in and out at just the right moments. The soundtrack itself is quite varied, ranging from melancholic melodies meant to tug at heartstrings, all the way to blood-pumping music you'd expect to hear at a gym. And again, it is because of this variety and range that the soundtrack feels so fully fleshed out. But of course, we can't talk sound design without mentioning sound effects. I found that they were quite spot on, ranging from the dull clank as your sword hits an enemy shield, all the way to the grunts of pain characters put out when unfortunately damaged. A lot of detail and effort went into the sound design of this game, and it clearly shows. Moving back to the gameplay for a moment, I found that all 3 characters were quite fun to play as. Each character felt fully fleshed out, and none of them felt like they had any sort of gimmick attached to them. Dante plays almost identically to his appearance from DMC 4, with the game allowing you to go in with a DMC 3 style setup of 2 melee weapons and 2 firearms. He boasts the most weapons out of every character, allowing you to switch them on the fly to hit those SSS ranks. Of course, he's not entirely identical to his DMC 4 iteration. There are a few new mechanics at play here that will keep series veterans on their toes. Another of the playable characters is Nero. He too plays similarly to his DMC 4 iteration, but thanks to the inclusion of devil breakers, robot arms which can be switched on the fly, he feels fresh as well. The arms that he takes into battle vary wildly in their use. One arm, for example, can be used as a rocket to ride on, another can freeze time, and it is up to the players to find a way to use them effectively. Then we move on to the mysterious V. He plays like nothing this series has seen so far. In fact, he doesn't fight physically himself. He instead uses his demonic familiars, in the shape of wild animals, to do all his fighting for him. But of course, he too needs to get involved at some point to land the finishing blow. This means that players won't be able to just sit back and relax, they'll have to put themselves at risk if they want to make some progress. And as mentioned before, Each protagonist has their own fully fleshed out moveset that is upgradable. It is important to mention that there is a New Game Plus in the way of a mission select and multiple difficulties to play through. In fact, the game pushes you and incentivizes you to play through the game multiple times, as just one playthrough won't unlock a character's full repertoire of moves. Fret not though, as there are multiple secret missions and hidden items for you to find throughout the world of DMC. So no matter what difficulty you play through or what mission you're doing, there's always something for you to find. Before I give my closing remarks and the final score, let's talk about the story of Devil May Cry 5. This was touted as the end of the Sons of Sparta storyline, the climactic finale in an ever-going saga. The end of the world is a cliched trope that has been played countless times, but what makes the story of DMC 5 so engrossing is the personal stakes. The young and brash Nero has just had his demonic right arm taken from him and his pride damaged. The weapon that Dante entrusted to him to keep safe was also taken. Not only is he fighting to save the world, but to save his pride too. On the other hand, Dante is fighting for his own personal revenge. The demon that has brought about the end of the world is said to be the very reason that he fights. With that in mind, Dante sets off to right the wrongs of his tragic past and save the world at the same time. As for the motivations of the third and final playable character V, well, those will remain a mystery because this is going to be a spoiler-free review. What I will mention though is that I found the pacing of the story to be perfect. There isn't a moment of downtime or boredom where you wish you were doing something else. Every mission ends with a cliffhanger, whether it'll be a twist or a turn, that leaves you wanting more. Large amounts of exposition aren't just dumped into your lap for you to digest. No, you're slowly fed information piece by piece, allowing you to draw your own conclusions as the game ramps up to its climactic crescendo of a finale. DMC 5 will be getting a 10 out of 10 from me personally. I found this to be the greatest entry in the series yet, outdoing even DMC 3, which fans alike hold as the peak of the DMC franchise. Regardless of whether or not you are a series veteran or a newcomer to the franchise, I highly suggest you pick this up. The game even has a history of DMC catch-up video for newcomers to watch before they dive into the depths of DMC 5. And that's gonna be it for this review. Subscribe if you liked what you saw, as there is more DMC content on the way. And for those of you who do want to discuss spoilers, there will be a spoiler discussion video coming soon, so please stay tuned. It has been me, DevilNeverCry. I would like to thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll see you next video.